Hi guys, how you doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. It's Sunday and I'm home from work again. And today I've decided to have some nice chicken drumsticks. It's all organic. I don't like to have chicken that's been shot up with steroids. That looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger on my plate, so. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stick my chicken in the oven. That's what it looks like right here. And today's conversation is going to be pretty much geared towards post-op transgender, or someone who's not post-op but is okay with how they are and they're moving on with their transition still. But the things I talk about pretty much are things that are unforeseen to a new transgender person who's just come out and does not know of what he or she will face in this world. See you guys soon. Hey guys, Stephanie again. Hey, like I said, it's Sunday. It's gorgeous outside. I just got home from work. I put some chicken in the oven. What else could you ask for, right? Maybe go to the beach. But anyways, today's topic, unlike yesterday, very, very similar. It's going to be about what if the people that you're with accept you and sees you as a woman and has no idea that you're trans. Should you tell them? Do you feel guilty if you don't? To answer that question, there is no right or wrong answer to that, because we're all different anyway. So what I would do is I would just keep going the way things are going. It's great that they are treating you like a cisgender, because after all, we are true women in our hearts and in our minds. Just because our bodies don't match in the beginning doesn't mean that we're not what we feel we are in here and in here. So let's say you have a special friend. She could be single, she could be married, she could have children, and for some reason they gravitate to you because you have a nice personality. Maybe you're pretty, or maybe it's just not a cisgender woman who's very friendly with you and sees you as a friend, or it could be a guy, okay, that's attracted to you. Should you tell them that you're trans? That's a tricky question, and like I said, there's really no wrong or right answer. It all depends on how you feel about yourself and in your comfortable zone. What are you willing to talk about and what are you not willing to talk about? As for me, I will not say anything, okay? If I'm approached later on about it, I'll probably say something like, yes, you're absolutely right. I am a transgender woman. I've been, post-op all these years. You don't even have to say that you're post-op, okay? Because remember, what's in between your legs is really nobody's business anyway. I mean, would you go up to a woman and say, hey, how's it look down there? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have any friends if you did. So same thing applies for you. So what I did for my channel was I pre-written the things that's interesting and the things that I've discovered in my life going forward. And some of the things I wrote here is dating, job interviews, one of the things that I've noticed, being transgender and approaching non-transgender people, is when I'm talking with someone who's in a power position, whether they're business owners or managers or whatever, I noticed that when I'm talking to them, they tend to look at me from my head to my toe, as if they're investigating. They step back and they look at your feet, and they're like that, and they're talking to you. They almost break the concentration in the conversation. And that makes you think, am I wearing the appropriate clothes today? Do they treat all cisgender women this way? And the question is no, because when they're looking at your feet, their mind is going like, am I speaking with a male or a female? It's like Y's are crossing in their head. Maybe not. So what I do back is I look at them too. I look at their feet and I look at their clothes, and I keep carrying on the conversation. The other thing that I notice too is when I go to work, right, I notice that whenever we get new hirees, most of the time they're very, very, very friendly with me. They come up to me, I got my name tag. Hi Stephanie, how you doing? My name is such and such, and I say, hey, nice meeting you. Welcome on board. And everything will go fine for a few months. All of a sudden, they don't seem as friendly anymore, or they won't have a conversation, and sometimes they just don't say hello. Okay? This is what happened. That's because where you work, there is an informant. There's always that person that acts like it's their duty to tell the new people that you're trans. Yep, that's what I figured out, because when these new people come in to work with me, they see me as a cisgender woman. So they come in, they're acting normal according to them. But in a few weeks or two, someone who is an informant feels it's their duty to tell them that you are trans. There's nothing you can do about it. You can continue to engage with them and be friendly with them, or you can say, well, I guess they don't accept me or sees me as part of them. So what? What about when you're doing job interviews? Okay, most of my interviews that I have done, I have never mentioned being trans. Okay, because either way, they're gonna know anyway. Because as soon as they log in your social security number in their system to do a background check, it all comes out in the wash. They're gonna know. And most of the time, just because they know, doesn't mean they're gonna come up to you and ask you. Okay, if they do, they're violating their own code. Okay. The other thing is, don't feel guilty if you don't want to say it. Or you may be thinking, I'll tell them because, I just think they should know. Okay, let me tell you this. I had done that one time at one interview, and I'm sitting there face to face conducting this interview, and I said to them, I'm trans. I've been transitioned now for 20 years. And you know what they said? They said to me, oh, I didn't know that. And she actually leaned over and says, you don't have to tell anybody, that's really none of their business, and you look like a woman to me. And I said, okay. Whew. Now you feel the weight come off your shoulders. What about if you went in there, right, carrying your head high, okay, and you said to yourself, I have to do this job interview, that's what my goal is. Okay, that's a good presentation. Okay, don't feel that you need to inform people. The same goes for when I said in the beginning, if you have people who are treating you like a cisgender person, then don't fear that one day they're going to find out. If they're truly your friends, they don't care. They're going to judge you on your personality and your character and your honesty and your friendliness. Don't worry about everything else. Now, let's talk about dating a little bit. Okay, I am a bisexual woman, and I found out only in the past 5 years, okay, way after my transition, and it was a battle for me to decide. It was a battle for me to decide what orientation sexually am I. Okay, now I was married for 12 years in my first marriage, and my second marriage to a woman, I was with her for almost 6 years. But even then, during those marriages, I found myself checking out some men. Not in a provocative way or a sexual manner. I just felt this warmth, okay? I think a clean-cut guy who's professional and holds himself well, I'm attracted to that, okay? So why shouldn't I be now that I am visibly a woman? I've been out of the closet now. Okay, so some people might think, well, you like both genders. How does that work with who you're dating? Well, that's simple. If I'm dating a man, then guess what? I'm with him. I'm not thinking about another woman. And if I'm dating a woman, I'm not thinking about a guy or anybody else for that matter. I'm with that person. Okay? A lot of people say, well, I can't date, a bisexual woman because they have the best of both worlds. I don't look at it as the best of both worlds. I just look at it as dating someone that you're attracted to and you feel like you have something in common with them and you click. But what if you're dating a nice guy that you're really attracted to, like I have in the past, and you date for a month or two, and into the relationship, things are getting a little heated sexually, You kiss him a lot, and you guys are holding hands, and you go out to dinner, and he's introduced you to his family and his friends. And all along, you have this lingering thing in the back of your mind. Sooner or later, they're going to find out. Not because they suspect you of ever being a boy in the past, but because the time will come when intimacy will happen, right? I've been through it more than once with different men. Of course, not at the same time. But I knew that that time was going to come. And it came, okay? So, quite honestly, you can have the most enhanced surgery down there to be perfectly looking like a woman. But they're going to know. Okay, especially another woman who's a gay woman. Okay, I dated a nurse, and you can't really not tell them. My rule of thumb is this: if you're a transgender woman and you're dating someone, in my opinion, if you love them and you care for them, then you need to tell them. When's the right time? Okay? I have done it both ways. I have done it within 3 months. I have done it within 3 meetings. Okay? I wouldn't recommend the 3 months. That doesn't work well, and cisgender people might not understand why you don't tell them. We know why. It's because we feel uncomfortable. It's a very deep personal matter, and they should know within a certain time. Like I said, within the first 3rd meeting, don't go beyond that. With a woman, with a man, it might be sooner, or it might be within a month. Okay, I don't plan on sleeping with either or within a month, but I think before it happens, you need to sit down with them and have that conversation. If you're dating a bisexual man or a bisexual woman, they're more open-minded and they're more understanding. But if you're dating a straight man who has always looked at you, okay, as a woman, he's introduced you to his friends and to his family, it's your obligation to say, I want to go out to dinner with you today, and by the way, there's a discussion I'd like to have with you. He might say, very slim, he might say, I've known all along, and I was waiting for you to tell me, and I had this time limit where I would accept it and where I wouldn't. Or he could say, excuse me, what? You were born a boy, so you had the surgery down there? Do you have that down there? Whew. That's very stressful, because now you've developed, within 3 weeks, I'm not saying you developed feelings for them, but you've gone out several times and you've probably met some of his friends. You can say, I want to wait for a few months before we have sex. That can buy you some time, but is it a good idea? Probably not. This is something that's got to come out in the beginning, because if not, then you're doomed. Okay? You can't be a serial dater. Okay, that's not a fun place to be, and it's a small world, and the word always gets around anyway. There's a time limit that you say to yourself, I'm tired of being on dating sites, you know, and why? Because that time always comes up where you have to have a discussion. Okay, I found that some gay women are very, very accepting. Some are not. It all depends. I know that bisexual women are more accepting. Not all of them. So, the other subject I'd like to talk about is going to be what I wear when I go out. That's easy. Okay. Cisgender women don't ever feel paranoid about what they wear. I feel the same way. Okay? I wear whatever my heart tells me to wear, and whatever mood I'm in. I could be in the mood to wear a skirt. I'm 55 years old, so I'm not going to prance around in a skirt that's 3 inches above my knees. But that's just me. I'm not going to wear a mini skirt. I'm not going to wear Daisy Duke shorts. Okay? It's not me. Okay? I like to dress casual. Like right now, I'm casual. Okay? I wear more slacks than I wear dresses and skirts. Okay? There are days, like on my days off, right? If I'm going downtown shopping, I like long, flowy skirts, okay, that drag a little bit on the floor. Okay? I like skirts that's almost down to my ankles. I like feeling the air going through my legs and flowing around when the wind's blowing. That's what I like. I've noticed, but it's my opinion, okay, that some trans women don't feel like a woman unless they're always wearing dresses and heavy makeup. Look, I don't want to compare your life and my life to cisgendered women, but you're a woman whether you wear makeup or not, whether you wear a skirt or not. Go with the flow, okay? People will see you as a woman regardless. I don't like to pretend, you know, like I said in my last video, I go out assuming everybody knows I'm trans. Even if in most people's eyes, I'm a cisgender woman. It doesn't matter to me. People are just people. I can smell my chicken going on there. I'm starving. So that's how I am. Let's talk about something else. Let me check my list. All right. So, what I'm wearing. Paranoism. Paranoism is something that should not be a concern for you or a problem when you're trans when you're trans 5, 10, 15 years. If you're still paranoid within 5, 10, 15, 20 years, there's a problem, and maybe you should see a therapist for it. No pun intended, okay? We have all seen our share of therapists. Some of us might need a little bit more than others, that's all. Early on, I had my shares of paranoism. For example, I went shopping, right? And I was wearing my skirt, and I had a little bit of makeup, and my hair was longer. I'm shopping in the aisles, and in the other aisle, right, I heard people laughing. Immediately I started looking around. Are they laughing at me? That's not possible. Because if they're in the other aisle, they can't even see you. But because you're a little bit paranoid about what people think when you go out at that early on transition, that you think everybody's laughing at you. Not so. You could be walking in a store, shopping by yourself, and people could be behind you and laugh. Whether they are or they're not, don't let it affect you. Okay? The reason I always assume that people know I am, somewhere about maybe my 4th year into my transition, that's how I started to be, was because it takes the weight off your shoulder. The what if. What if somebody says something to me? What if I'm attacked? Or what if I'm made fun of? Listen, if a 7-year-old child uses the wrong pronoun with you, do you think people know or not know? Right? Okay, so I was at a trans support group meeting, and one of the girls said, my girlfriend's daughter called me a boy. And my friend had already had her facial feminization surgery done, presents to me as a woman. Children don't hold back their thoughts and their true feelings. They'll just go ahead and spit it out. That's just how it is. So the little girl's mom corrected her and said, honey, she's a girl. And the girl says, he's a girl. So I always go out, even now, I mean, I've been out now 20 years. That's how I go, because it allows me to be myself even more. That's why when I go out, I don't care. I don't care what people think. I have to go out and be me. And the only way you can be you is if you let down your guard, have fun, join the conversation, socialize. Because it's in that moment, that you're not clocked, that people see a woman. And now, what I gotta say is, if you have that mindset, you can't go wrong. Because either way, guess what? You're thinking that everybody knows anyway. And you could just be looked on as a cisgender woman that you are. I hope I shed some light in some of these areas. And if you guys want to post any comment, please be free to do it, and I'll comment back on there. If you guys find what we discussed here interesting, click that subscribe button and hit that top button so you get notifications of my new uploads. It's always great talking with you guys, and hope to hear from you guys. Have a nice day, guys.